Fatima Daksar. Welcome to the Quantum Success Academy Coaches interview series on all about becoming a life coach. Over the next few days, I will be interviewing several of our successful quantum success coaches. The Quantum Success Coaching Academy, but affectionately known to us all as the QSCA, and we're all the QSCAers, as we call each other. What they'll be doing, well, the idea of the interviews is to, each and every coach has got its own sort of personal experience, and they'll be sharing with us how they became a life coach, what was their initial desires, what was the drive to become a life coach, and not only that, but from the angle of why they chose to actually study at the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. So they're going to be sharing those ideas. So after listening to the interviews of all the different coaches, you'll get a better understanding of how life-changing becoming a life coach can be, and how it can be very rewarding both personally and obviously financially, and it's the way of setting up a new business. So that's the hope and the idea of all these interviews. The course of the interviews, we've got several different coaches with different niches, different specialities, different backgrounds. So, and I'm very, very pleased today to have on the call with me, all the way from London, Ontario in Canada, I have Kate Lindsay. Hello, Kate. How are you?
Hi, Martine. Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Fine, fine, fine. We're very warm. You just said earlier that it's warm for you, it's warm for me, and we're going to close in a little bit.
It is a hot day here.
It is. It's well, it's the summer and it's great. We don't want. In a month or two's time, we'll be moaning, saying it's cold. But anyway, we can do that.
Yes. I will never complain about this.
No, never. It's amazing how many people do, though. They get hung up on it. No. Anyway, Kate has recently finished her certification. Is that right, Kate? For the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. I know, and I remember seeing on our forum, you could just feel the sort of the excitement that you had. It was one of the things that drew me to you when I was looking to a selection of coaches to interview for this purpose. And I just loved your energy and your vibe for life. So, I was very, very pleased that you decided to come on the calls with us. So, and also that you're going to share with us your path to becoming a life coach, and, what drove you to become one, what was the reasons, and also, as I mentioned, why you chose the Quantum Success Coaching Academy with Christy Whitman. So, perhaps you'd like to sort of tell us a little bit of how you got onto, sort of how you got there, and first of all, sort of why did you want to become a coach? What sort of drove you to become a coach? What was the drive, the experience? I'll hand over to you.
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm completely honored to be a part of this project. And I have to say, honestly, I think the QSCA found me. I know I've sort of shared that story with you before, but it found me more than I found it. And it was, a year ago spring, and I was in a space that I knew I wanted for a long time to go back to school, to train to do something. I had been working in an assembly plant in an auto factory, and not unhappy, but not fulfilled. This wasn't where I was stopping, but I wasn't sure where else I was going. I had applications out to other college programs and had been accepted and was just not excited. I was just kind of sitting on it. And then I got a head cold that turned into a little bit more, and long story short, I was too sick with an ear problem to go to work. So I had to sit still, and I sat at my laptop and kind of, you go back through that list of things that you bookmarked that you will one day check out. Well, that was my one day. And one link kind of took me to another, and I was drawn. I really feel like the path sort of unfolded in front of me. And then I found Christy Whitman. And I lost total track of time. I was just so excited by all of her training videos and all of her intros and everything she had to say. The law of attraction is not new to me, although I can't say I had the understanding that I do now for sure. But that is sort of the way I've lived my life. So to, find something that was going to expand that part of me the part that I already enjoyed, was exciting. And then to thought of be able to use that with other people was exciting. That's kind of who I have always been. Friends and family or people who have worked for me, have always strangers on the subway, for some reason want to tell me their most personal thoughts. So there's something that I have always known about me that puts people at ease and makes them comfortable sharing. And so putting the two together, it just seemed like
a perfect match.
It just felt like suddenly the heavens parted and everything was laid right out in front of me.
Wow. You just knew that was the case for you. So you must have been in the May intake when you first started on the course. Is that right?
I was.
Yeah. So you were still working at the same time? Yeah. You'd stopped working, you were working, so you studied whilst working, presumably.
I was working 6 days a week. We had mandatory Saturday overtime, so 6 days a week, plus the calls and the practical coaching hours. I was a busy girl.
You were a busy
But
girl.
it was all with really good stuff, so it didn't feel bad. It didn't feel overwhelming by any means.
Yeah, because
I used to put all my audiobooks. Yeah, I bought all the audiobooks for all the Abraham teachings, and I listened to them while I was building trucks. But don't worry, you're all safe. I built trucks responsibly. But I would listen to Abraham speak to me while I was putting parts on the truck.
That's amazing.
It really helped the time go by.
I bet it did. Yep. So your 8-hour day went so well. So yeah, so big benefit. So you can't knock it. And obviously it was an experience that you were meant to have. Yes, your experience it probably got you clearer in life on that you wanted to move and do something else. Working in sort of that. I would imagine working in a plant must be a monotonous job. That's the way I would sort of feel it. The Charlie Chaplin old film where he was working on the.
Yep.
You know the old film where he was like going and he used to come out to the street.
I do.
You did the same?
I do. And you know what? There were days that it felt like that, but a truck comes by every 1 minute and 3 seconds and you do your job again. And so I used to use that as a perfect measure of the 68-second game.
Oh.
And so I do 68 seconds for one truck, and then I do 68 seconds for another truck.
Kate's telling us about one of the processes of the many that we learn in QSCA, a lot of sort of law of attraction based and from Abraham and Esther and Jerry Hicks, their books, and the 68 process. That's a very good. So you must be expert. We could call you the 68-second expert.
I'm very well practiced.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
good timing. So obviously, you were working. You did your training. You're not working now because you're now working as a full-time coach. Is that right?
I've just started that. Yeah, absolutely. So the timing of that all worked out really well. I was laid off at the plant the beginning of March, which, I mean, the timing couldn't have been really more perfect. I was finishing my certification in the spring. It was the summertime. Everything just seemed lining up. Other people who were being laid off who had a very different view, I think, of the world, very upsetting for them. And for me, it was more of like an opportunity. It was more the universe saying, fly, little bird, go take everything that you've learned and put it into practice. And why not now?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the universe works in those ways where everything falls in time in the perfect place. So obviously positioning you last May to start training, and then you had that sort of time of being laid off, was a big bonus for you, and you had that time to concentrate for your certification. So now you've been coaching since March or before? Did you start your coaching before? Like, I mean, a lot of the coaches.
I did start my coaching before.
Yeah. So you got into.
I did start before. I think it was last. There's a delay. I was talking over you. I think it was last October, somewhere in the fall. I think that I started doing more regular coaching anyway.
Good.
Outside of the practical hours that were required.
Outside, there's a lot to get through. This is, I think, going back to the course. How, in the end, sort of, I mean, you said Quantum Success found you and that course, and everything resonated with you. How did you actually find the experience of the course and the materials that we covered? You know, and sort of all the different, the course is made of 5 modules I've explained in other videos. So how did you find the coursework? Great value?
Great value. Great value. I really liked the way it was laid out. I really liked that there was a little bit of everything, and it was presented in such a way that someone who was unfamiliar could, with the laws of attraction, could work right alongside with someone who had a greater understanding of the ways that the laws worked already. It was set up, the language was set up in such a way, the worksheets, the modules, if you needed to put a little more time in to sort of catch up and do it your own self, it never felt like work. It always felt like an exciting growth experience. I loved every one of the classes that I attended, and being someone who worked 6 days a week and had, you know, the one day off to get some laundry done, and it was shift work. I worked 2 weeks days and then 2 weeks afternoons, and it was really incredibly helpful to have the classes set up the way they were. I was able to attend the class in the evening when I worked day shift, and then switch for that third week of the month to listen in on a day class and participate that way, so that I could still go to work in the afternoons, and have that 4th week off to sort of catch up and get everything done and be ready to set for the next month. It fit into what I already had going on so well that it was.
Yeah, it is versatile. So you actually had 2 different teachers then, if you said that you joined in the morning and the afternoon class?
I didn't. I worked with Kelly Lewis in both classes. She had a morning class and an afternoon. Okay. So I could still follow with Kelly, but in the mornings or in the afternoons. And she worked with me really well that way to make sure that I didn't miss anything.
Oh, that's really good. And that's what it is versatile, the course, where there are the morning the morning classes and the evening classes. For me, it's always an evening class. It's always sort of this side of the world over in Greece. It's sort of usually 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know, everybody comes on the call and they're all live. Well, most of the people, because obviously a lot of the students are in Canada, in the US, but they are all over the world. But for me, it's kind of 7 o'clock, and there's times I'm a little bit tired by the time I get the call, and everybody's good morning and how's everything, and I'm thinking, I'm ready for bed. But it is versatile, and that 4th week that we have off is good, as you say, that you can catch up. And you were taping, obviously listening back to the lessons whilst you were making your tractors as well.
I was.
So it all works out really well. Yeah, but no, there's a lot of material to cover. There's no doubt about that. Everybody's has the same experience. How did you find when you went back to revise? Did you find you had a better understanding afterwards? When you, towards the end and when you were revising?
Before the exam?
Yes.
You know what? It was interesting, I think, to go back and really realize how all-encompassing that course was. We started right at the beginning, and by the time you had spent a year doing it, it was really fun to go back to the beginning and some basic definitions and think, oh my gosh, that to me now seems so secondhand. I've used that sentence so many times. I understand it so well. Did I really just learn that only a few months ago? But I found the revision part almost as exciting as doing everything else. It was like a really good full sweep.
Yeah, you get to own it sort of at a different depth as well. Because now as you're coaching, and I'll point out Kate is a very good writer, and I wanted to ask you, I kind of followed your blog, Get to the Good blog, and I love the title as well. I do. So you've been writing. Is this the first time you've done blogging and writing about these things, or is it just all come together at the same time?
This is the very first time.
Wow.
No, this is the very first time. Just since the spring I started that. I wasn't even an English major. It was never my forte. But finding something that I resonate with, or that resonates with me, and telling my own story and telling things from my personal point of view, and the way everything has sort of come together for me and my outlook, it's just has a different freedom to it. So I like to write kind of almost like I'm speaking to you.
Which is a nice way to, and not only that, more people can connect you with that way. I mean, there are textbooks if you want that kind of language, but I know from reading your blog post, yeah, I felt like you were there. You were. We were having a coffee and you were telling me all about it. So it was, yes, I like it. And I think that, and from the comments you're getting, you're obviously doing a really good job. And I think you're also getting over the ways to incorporate the universal laws and the law of attraction into your everyday life, and how you can look for the good and get to the good, which, as I said, it's very, very good. But it hasn't all been all bright and cheerful for you, has it, Kate? And as, you know, for your own, you like the colour grey, and I'll quote from Kate's own work, and it actually said, there really are so many ways in which we can root through all of the grey and get to the good. Has there been a lot of grey for you? Yes?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that now looking back, I can call it gray, but at the time it felt much heavier and darker than that. That was what my blog post was about this week, actually. Very, very close to my own heart that way. I've become more comfortable sharing my own story with others. There was a number of years there that I was, you know, quote unquote clinically depressed, and I do understand the feeling of being lost and without a clear view, and the kind of spinning your wheels that depression brings to you, the hopelessness. I understand that from a personal point of view, certainly better than some people would think. I know it often surprises my clients or people who know the Kate Lindsay of now. It seems to surprise them that it wasn't that many years ago that I wasn't in this great place, and you know, it was taking some very conscious decisions and some definite conscious work to change my habits of thought, to change my things, like, you know, and get to where I am now, to get to my good. And I think everybody can do it. You just, you know, when you're in that spot, it's really hard to know where to begin or how to start, or, you know, where you want to reach to, and I did that, and I did the work, and I did it without the help of someone like me. And I just think that if there had been someone in my life who had gone through the work and who had done all the readings and could sort of filter through it and give me exactly what I needed, I probably could have come out of that space a heck of a lot faster than I did. So I'm sort of happy to use that now. I can see from this point, looking back, that it had a purpose in my life, that there was a gift in it. At the time, there's no way I ever could have seen a gift in it, and I would, you know, it would be very hard for anyone in that space to see any good in going through such a dark time. But from where I stand now and looking back and being able to use that to connect other people and to help other women who are going through the same thing, know that I was just there. To me, that is now the gift in what I went through. I don't want to do it again. You know, I've been there, done that. I don't care to own the t-shirt, but I can use that now, moving forward.
So in some ways you would say that you have found your purpose, a kind of life purpose through that road that's been opened up to you through becoming a coach. Would you say that? Irrespective of the course you've done.
Absolutely, I would say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would say exactly that. Yeah. So it was taking that path that at the time I didn't know what good it could possibly bring to me, and then coupling with my already sort of, I guess, the personality that I have that people share with me, and that we are comfortable together and we connect easily, and now pairing those with what I have learned and where I have come myself.
Dynamic.
Sort of, I think that's the dynamic that I love in my life right now.
Good.
Lots has changed for me.
Lots have changed. And in such a short space of time, really. Transformational.
In a very short space of time. Sure. You know, I would say 2.5 years, 3 years ago now, I had just broken up with a long-term boyfriend. I had sold all my furniture and given away my apartment before that breakup, so, you know, there was that. I didn't have a job. I had quit my job. So I moved home to my parents' basement. And now, 2.5 years later, I'm in a wonderful relationship with a wonderful man that I never in a million years would have thought I could have met. I live in the country beside a lake. It's a beautiful place. And I'm starting my own business. So, yeah. Oh, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be here, and I know it. But I really attribute all of those wonderful things to changing my habit of thought and changing my mindset. It was really a powerful thing. The QSCA really helped ingrain that in me.
I think that is, for myself, the same. The transformation from going from, I look back now a year ago when I didn't even know that I was going to be doing this. I was looking for something because I'd been definitely, luckily I have a very, very good relationship and a marriage of 30 odd years. So my problem wasn't sort of finding, the ideal mate or that, but it was a change in sort of looking for something that was more meaningful. We were in the wine business. We had our own winery, and we still have the vineyards, and it's a beautiful setting where I live in the country with vineyards all around. But I just wanted something. It's as you said earlier, you just know that something sort of wasn't that fulfillment. So the change in the space of a year, and the things that you find yourself able to do that you'd have looked back and gone, I'd have never done that, a year ago, sort of. I don't know. I mean, you've obviously done things that you said that you would never imagine. So the transformation is amazing. And I haven't met anyone that's a student or a graduated coach that hasn't had that experience. And I think that's what is so powerful about this course. I mean, even if you didn't become a coach afterwards, I think that the gain would be, it's a year's coaching. That's the way I look at it. I don't know how you see that too.
I said that out loud, I think, to my family when I started this course, when we were only a few weeks in. And I said, it doesn't matter, even if this doesn't become my new thing, if this doesn't become a business opportunity, if this doesn't become anything, what it's doing for my life already and the way I'm going to move forward for the next some odd years, hopefully many years, but it's been an amazing change. So even if you don't, make a coaching business out of it, the personal growth and the expansion and the way you will live your life is so worthwhile. It's so worth the investment of your time and your energy. It's just the best thing ever. I don't even know how to, there are not words. It was so wonderful for me.
Yeah, it's the same. I'm going to miss my lessons. Do you miss your lessons?
I miss them. And you know what? And my pod group, we stay in touch. The girls have all come to my house twice now. We are still, course is over, and we are still in touch with each of us. Yeah.
It's the same for all the pod groups. For our audience, I've mentioned them before, and other people have mentioned pod groups. We're all kind of paired off a little bit into a group so that we can practice group coaching. But most of us all go on and we become friends outside of the circle and even carry on coaching each other, helping each other out on that. So most of them. So you're lucky that you have some actual buddies that live near you. I know there's quite a few Canadians in the QSCA.
Close.
Yeah, close by.
We're within a couple of hours. We're within a couple hours of drive.
But you managed to get together. That's powerful.
A phone call, right? Oh, it was so wonderful to know the voices and to hear everyone on the phone, and then to meet them in person.
To be there. That's powerful.
So much fun.
It's a little bit difficult for me from this side of the world because obviously, it is. But luckily I've got some of my pod group are in Europe, so we're a bit closer time on the time scale, because the time zone is a little bit. Sometimes you've got to stop and think of where somebody is or not. So, but it doesn't matter. And that's one of the beauties of coaching like this is. We're able to do that in different hours, and technology is our biggest asset that we can actually be. I mean, anyway, in the universe, there's no time and space anyway, so it doesn't matter whether you're 7 hours behind me or I'm 7 hours ahead. We're all there, and we're in the now. But the pod groups are very, very good, and I found that I've made more friends in the last year or so than probably I had done over the last couple of years. And when I say that friends, I mean with a connection to people that are like-minded, and you can just talk to them. It's they get you, and you don't have to explain yourself or anything like that.
Sure.
So many advantages. So Kate, your website, I know that you're in the process of building a new website, and that is always, I know, yeah, there's only so many hours to do in a day, but I know you're already out there with your blog, but so we can recommend, so if the best site to go to at the moment for you is katelindsay.ca, is that right?
.ca, yes.
.ca, which is for Canada. I'll be putting links will be in the transcription for everybody so that they can find you. You're also on Facebook. On Facebook, what's the best way to find you on Facebook apart from your personal Facebook page, your business page?
Yes, it's Kate Lindsay Life Coaching. Kate Lindsay Life Coaching.
Okay, again, we'll put the links to that there for you. Okay, so what have you got any sort of like? I think we sort of like covered in the sense that as a student, the most you got out of the year program, and that is a far better understanding of yourself. Is that right? And everything.
You know, myself, definitely myself, a lot of clarity about what it is that is important to me and where I want to head, but also about the way I relate to everything else, the way I relate to my own self, the way I relate to the world around me, the way I relate in actual relationships to those I come in contact with, be they friends, family, or strangers. It's definitely, it's all changed, and for the better.
Yeah, so your relationships have improved. Yeah, it's amazing how they change. So on the business aspect, you feel that you're on the right side. Do you feel that you came out of the course prepared to go and start coaching and set up your business?
There's still a lot to learn. I mean, the Quantum Success does a great business module to get you set up, but it does sort of all-encompassing. So for me, I had to go back through that module and sort of find what it was that took me in the direction that was right for me. But all of the information was there. So to take me in my direction and get me started and know what I needed to research more. And a lot of that was based on my own business or technological skills, or lack thereof. What I still needed to learn for me. But I felt really set up and ready to go.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in, and some people, you know, they're more advanced on different aspects of the business or the marketing side or the technical side. I know for some people it's a bit challenging to do all these things with cameras and recordings of things, but it's all part of the learning. You mentioned earlier about working. Do you only work with women? Because I know from your course, I just wanted you to clear that up for you. I don't want to sort of misquote. You prefer working with women?
I'm completely open to work.
Okay.
I'm completely open to work with men. I have coached 2 gentlemen, and they both had great experiences as well. It does seem that the majority of my clients are women, but you know, that just seems to be the way it's gone.
I think it probably follows a general sort of consensus that there are definitely more women looking to be coached. And I mentioned that one of the coaches in the series is a guy, and he was, I sort of had to include a man, but we were saying that probably about a third or a quarter, possibly a third in the Quantum Success Academy are men. So, and he was saying from his experience that he's been coaching many years. He was a coach before he started with QSCA. He was saying that that's kind of the ratio. There are far more women being coached and become coaches. Obviously, it seems to be the next step forward. So it'll always be that bad. But guys, any guys out there, come and join us. Men can be just as good at coaches as.
Oh yes.
I've got a female friend who says, well, coaches, they're women, they're wives, they're mothers, whatever. But I wouldn't agree completely. I think men have as much to offer in the coaching industry as women do.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So you're not. What? Tell us about it. Have you got any new projects coming up? You're preparing coaching programs. Have you got anything new coming up that you wanted to share with us? Apart from your.
Well, I hope to be releasing something in the fall. More of something that would maybe include some one-on-one coaching, but would also set some people up to sort of work by themselves at home and get themselves started. It seems to be that that's what what clients are asking for is what can they do on their own? How can they get things started before they maybe want to open up to someone else? So how can we sort of get things qualified and figured out a little bit on my own so that I know if coaching is even right for me. So
it's a good step.
Hopefully by the fall I'll have a 3-week program that you can download and pick that up. So if all goes well, technologically speaking, that should be on the website too.
That's what you're intending, so that's what will happen. But it's a good aspect to help people that way to get to. I've noticed that people sometimes they don't like to open up straight away. They're not even sure what coaching is. I don't know whether you've come across that. They're not sure. Well, people have asked me, said,
it's very nice.
What does a life coach do? It can be a bit sort of, intimidating. So I've stopped using the term life coach unless somebody really knows it. So I don't know whether you've had that experience when people are asking you what
I have, and what do you do? And it always has that look, that's for sure. What could that mean? But I also offer anyone who's ever interested, their first 40 minutes sort of discovery session is on me. So we'll always do that together first so that you can decide whether or not we are a good match, whether you feel comfortable, whether coaching is even something that, you want to pursue right now. So we can kind of get that out of the way.
Okay, so we'll include your link there so that anybody would like to go and work with Kate, that would be, you can check out our link and definitely to check out her blog. She has some very interesting articles and from a good angle, and you'll also get the important thing is that you get a good feel for you, Kate. Your personality comes over. Makes you want to think, I'd like to work with her. She's very sort of vibrant and gets the message over in a down-to-earth way, but also a deeper way as well. You get the feeling and your passion and how you want to help people to move forward. And how it is possible to change. You said earlier that if you change the way you look at things, I think it's,
oh my gosh.
I forget who it was that made the quote now, but definitely you can change. And also important again for me is choice, that we do have the choice. We don't have to stay and watch that movie that we've been playing over and over. It's let's sort of make new movies and new memories and start moving on. Because
absolutely,
many people like to.
That's so key.
Yeah, they like to wallow, and I think it's Christy Whitman, obviously the founder of Quantum Success. I think I remember one of her trainings where she was saying that it doesn't matter how you got to where you are now or who helped you get there. The thing is from now, what are you going to do to get further along, and what are you going to do for you? Which it resonated with me so well, because we can all wallow in the past. It's good to work on the past, and that is covered in the modules, obviously light, body and future visioning, where we can clear up some issues of the past and we can help clients do that. But the important thing is to move along and start living a life to get to the good.
Thank you. Yeah, to not stay there, to get to your good stuff. It's there. You just have to find it and then learn how to create more of it.
That's right. So again, you'll understand for our audience here that obviously Kate's life has changed tremendously. My own life has changed, and many other of the coaches, hundreds of them, their life has changed. So if it can change her life, my life, why not change your life and become a life coach and start looking for your good, as Kate would tell us. So I think that sort of like becoming a life coach might be the best thing to join us here on the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, become one of the students. It'd be great to have you in our community, because you'll agree, Kate, we have a wonderful community of coaches, past, current.
Such a great community.
Yeah, you can reach out to them.
And everyone actively stays in touch no matter what your level of experience is. I think that is so wonderful to connect with such a group. So good. That feels like that's a good family.
Yeah, it is. And it's also, there's no competition. We're not although we're all doing the same thing, we're all life coaches, but there is no feel of you're stepping on my toes or, you're going to teach customers from me. No, there's none of that. It's definitely a big team. We work together and help each other, which is a great thing. So I'd like sort of anybody considering sort of doing the course to know that you can always reach out for support. You'll have people going through the same things that you're going to go through, so you don't have to worry about. I never forget the first time I had the courage to write on the group, on the forum. I mean, it felt really, ooh, am I doing this right? But it was great because everybody came in and sort of welcomed you and, with open arms and helped you with any little queries that you had. So that is another great benefit of being there, which I'm not sure in a very short kind of 1 month coaching program whether you would actually get all that. So you get many, many things. And I think, as Kate really put it, that even if you never became a coach, the experience you'll have, the transformation you'll have on this course is worth every little penny. It's an amazing investment in yourself and in your future. So, Kate, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on with us. It was a great experience for me. It was lovely to have you.
It's been wonderful.
It's a communal love for the Quantum Success Coaching Academy and all the coaches that are involved, because it has been such a big thing for me this year. I've really enjoyed it, and it's helped me not only expand personally, but sort of business ideas. So, I just excited for all the things that come together. We may end up doing something again together. We'll have to do meetups.
I would love that.
Yeah, we'll have chats. We'll have chats. Oh, I've got some things up my sleeves that I'd like us all to get involved with, but this was just a start. And one of the reasons that I'm having this sort of interview series is because the doors are now opening up again to the academy. The lessons start again in October. So I know that doors will be opening and enrollment starts from the end of August. So it'll be good. So anybody thinking of becoming a life coach, come join us in the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. So I hope this...
I'd love to have you.
Wouldn't we? We'll get to meet you on the inside. In the meantime, if any of you are interested, there'll be links. In actual fact, there'll be a link below here that you can actually go through and find to the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, where you'll get access to some amazing training videos. Lots of information there. By the time you see the training videos, you'll know that whether you want to become a coach or not. And chances are that if you're still here listening to us now, you are very intrigued, and perhaps you've been sent here. There is a purpose why you're listening to us.
That's right.
Looking into the academy.
The QSCA is seeking you out too.
Exactly, that's great. So I'd like to say thanks again and to our audience tonight. Kate for taking the time to come on board and be here to share with her journey, which I'm very grateful for. And don't forget to check out the other interviews with other coaches, because you'll see that we've had a selection. We've had a coach that was an experienced coach before coming and taking the course, some more newbies, some others that have been working for a couple of years. We're all working different niches, so you'll get an idea that it's a very, very versatile program. It doesn't mean that you're going to be just law of attraction. These are tools that we learn, and they prepare us to use with our clients, processes to get them through. But there's lots of openings on the business aspects as well. So please watch the other videos, listen to the videos, go and check out the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, and we'd love to have you on board and become one of the coaches with us. Thank you, both Kate and for my audience tonight. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.